Hello everyone, and welcome to KippurCatArts 3D Print Lab today, and we're gonna, first off, for the first video, we're gonna be going over baseline development, which is gonna be developing the initial support and raft, and we're gonna do a thickness test. The initial support and raft that we'll be using all throughout the series. In the past, I've been using 3D printers for about 2 years now. In the past, I've always been using 1mm rods, but I've never had a template file that I've used to create models. I'm always just doing what I'm doing here and just kind of tapering the top, tapering the bottom. But what I want to do now is I want to create a template and be able to create models from this template and standardize my operations so that this comes out the same. Here you see it printed out. So what we're going to do is develop Obelisk Support. And Obelisk Support is basically just a 1.5mm rod that's tapered to 1mm at the top and tapered to 2mm at the bottom. This is going to provide good adhesion to the raft at the bottom, as well as will be easy to remove at the top when it's printed. And so we're going to be doing an overhang test. In order to do this, we're going to take our Obelisk Support that we just developed, and we're going to try printing a circle completely with complete overhang here. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that every point of the circle is supported. I'm just going to rotate that around with a radial array. I'm going to bring it into MakeAware and try slicing it. And just going to slice it off. And once it is sliced, we're going to go ahead and print it. And here it is printed. And there it is, de-rigged. We took it all apart, and you can see that the overhang didn't print very well. It's pretty stringy on the bottom. So now we're going to do what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to boolean everything together, and that creates a single geometry, and that makes all the difference when it comes to printing. And it will take prints that have the overhang issue and make them smooth when they print. And you see that as it prints out here, and there it is. And here's a video of me de-rigging it, taking off all the support. And as you can see, that overhang is now smooth. It's not all stringy like it was. Next thing we're going to be doing is a bridging test. So we're going to be taking a thin rectangle of geometry and trying to support it at varying distances. So we're just going to be moving these 1mm at a time, spacing them out, and getting a good idea of what a good bridge is. And typically bridging works quite well, but the problem in 3D printing is overhangs that don't have any support. And so I'm going to print this off. And here it is, printed. Maybe I should have rotated that. And here it is printed. You can see on the left that there's a little bit of overhang that wasn't accounted for. And that's really, if they have 90-degree overhangs, that's what's going to cause problems. So now we're going to develop and print off an angle test. And we're going to be doing a little bit of array there. And then we're just going to be moving them a couple millimeters at a time to get a nice little angle gradient from 0 to 90 at, I believe, 10-degree intervals. Should be 9 squares there. We're going to boolean everything together. We're going to save it off to our desktop. And we're going to bring it in, and we're going to slice it. We're going to go ahead and print it. And here it is printed. And you can see that the at the 0 degrees and the 10 degrees have some stringy issues, but as you go up in the angle gradient, it gets better. So now the last thing we're going to develop is custom raft. So with custom raft, I've found that you get a material use reduction, as well as it's easier to remove, and all it is 2.2 millimeter sheets, or maybe 0.3 or 0.1, depending on what layer height you're printing with. And so I'm just going to do a test here using the custom raft instead of automatic raft, which uses more material and slower, but it's nice if you just want to print something quickly and don't want to have to deal with raft yourself. But in the long run, in order to make things easier to de-rig and deal with, custom raft would be nice to have. So I'm just going to make a couple shapes here that'll be useful to have later on. All 0.2, all aligned so that they are all equally, so they're all sitting on the same plane, so that when you go to use them, everything will be level and everything will print. Everything will print appropriately, correctly, and just going to do 2 tests here to show the difference between segmented custom raft and whole custom raft. On more complex models, it makes a big difference. Maybe on this little box, it's not going to be such a big deal, but on more complex models, we really do need segmented raft in order for it to be easily removed. And so we're going to print those off. And there they are. And we're just going to quickly try removing, or here they are, printed. And I'm just going to try quickly removing the support. It wasn't too difficult, but I do think that the segmented one was better. Anyway, thanks for watching. I look forward to a great series. The next model we'll be doing is the Zergling, so stay tuned for that, and see you next time.